Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope your day and your weekend are going well so far. We've got NBA Finals action continuing tonight. Game 2, Celtics Mavs. The Celtics, of course, coming off their massive Game 1 victory over the Mavericks at home. We got more Game 2 action tonight, which means some more NBA player props to share with you guys. But first, as always, people, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and it means a lot to us. A real heads up, guys, I have been under the weather for the past couple of days. I'm not feeling well at all. I'm powering through to get this video out for you guys today. But I'm going to be moving a little quicker than normal just because I don't want to lose my voice. I finally able to talk a little bit, but I'm not feeling great. So I am going to kind of fly through this as fastly as I can just so I can get the video out and I can kind of go back to laying down, just withering away. I'm the biggest baby when I'm sick. I'm not gonna lie. You know the Game of Thrones, I think it's season 1, Robert Baratheon, when he's like, "Just give me something for the pain and let me die." That's usually me, even when it comes to the slightest cold. So with that out of the way, guys, let's dive into today's video. We got a 4-leg parlay for today's slate, plus 592 odds. Pretty good odds for a nice little 4-leg parlay. Let's dive into today's video. Go ahead and switch over to the Outlier screen now, guys. You know what Outliers are? The sponsor of every NBA player prop video here on the channel. There is a special link down below in our description that gives you a 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself. If you watched my videos before, you know how helpful Outlier can be. If you haven't, stick around and watch this video to give a little bit of a taste of how Outlier works. Again, there is a 7-day free trial when you use our link down below. No cost to you guys. You try it, you don't like it, you cancel it for no money charged. But if you do like it, you stick around, I guarantee you guys you'll become a better sports bettor when using Outlier. So here we go. First leg of our 4-leg parlay, we're going Daniel Gafford here, over 6.5 points. Now we are using FanDuel again for today's parlay. I know I'm a DraftKings guy normally, but FanDuel for the NBA Finals have been doing a lot better with the alternate lines, a lot better with the player props. So we're going to go with FanDuel here. We have Daniel Gafford over 6.5 points. We're getting it for minus 158 here on FanDuel. So pretty good odds here for a nice alternate line. We took the 7.5 point line in game 1 in the parlay, and it did cash. We're taking a point off here because he didn't play a ton of minutes. But the point being here, Gafford's covered this line pretty consistently all year long. He's cashed in 9 of his last 10 games for the Mavericks here in the playoffs, averaging 9.9 points per game. Again, he did cash this in game 1 versus the Celtics. So far this year, including playoffs and regular season, a 75% hit rate for Gafford, averaging 10.64 points per game. 69 nice out of 92 games this year. He has cashed the over. And like I said, he scored 8 points in game 1. He only played 14.3 minutes and only took 3 shots in that game. So, not the best, but like I said, that's all it takes for him to score 8 points. I'm hoping that he would play a little bit more here in game 2. Looking if he plays at least 20 minutes, I think we're in a pretty good spot here for him to score 7 points. Ideally, this is the range here. I put a little filter in to show Daniel Gafford's stats when he plays between 18 and 24 minutes per game this season. You see a 72% hit rate on the over, averaging 10.14 points per game. If I lower this down here to, let's say, between 18 and 20 minutes, he's played 7 games in this data range, 71% hit rate. So even if as long as he gets close to 20 minutes, I feel pretty good about this bet hitting. Although the Celtics defensively looked really well in game 1, I do think Gafford is still a pretty good bet here to cash. All right, guys, second leg of our 4-leg parlay. We're going Luka Doncic here, over 8.5 rebounds again against our FanDuel for minus 174 odds. This is another prop we took in game 1, but we're now taking a little bit lower here. I think we had it at 9.5 in game 1, if I'm correct. He has cashed at a 65% hit rate this year, 57 out of 88 games, which is pretty good. Look at his last 10 games. These, of course, all being playoff games. 8 of his last 10 games, including game 1, he had 10 rebounds in game 1 versus the Boston Celtics. And looking at the head-to-head rankings, 4 of the last 5 times he's faced off with the Boston Celtics, he has cashed the over, including 4 straight. 3 of those, of course, being this year. See, all 3 times he's played the Celtics this season, January 22nd, March 1st, and then back in game 1. He has cashed the over. He's averaging 11.4 rebounds per game versus the Boston Celtics over the last 5 games. So pretty good. If we go ahead and look at the rebound chance, obviously we know Luka's going to play a ton of minutes, although even in game 1 being a blowout, he had 38.2 minutes. So you know he's going to play in the ballpark of 40 minutes a game. And look at the rebounds per game, averaging 10.4 over the last 5. And look at the rebound chances. He had 14 rebound chances in game 1. He's averaging 13.6 rebound chances per game over his last 5 games. And then looking back at the head-to-head data there, you see he's averaging 15.6 rebound chances per game versus the Boston Celtics. Of course, a little bit of an outlier there because he had 25 rebound chances in that January 22nd meeting. But the point being, tons of rebounds opportunities for Luka, and I think he's going to capitalize on it. So we're pretty good spot here, minus 174 for a reason. All right, guys, on our third leg of our four-leg parlay, we're going Jrue Holiday here, over 16.5 points plus rebounds. Again, a little bit of an alternate line here, getting it from minus 170 on FanDuel. He's cashed in 4 of his 5 matchups with the Dallas Mavericks, dating back to November 2022. So pretty good data there. You see game 1, he did catch. He had 12 points and 8 rebounds in game 1. So far this season with the Boston Celtics, 2 out of 3 matchups versus Dallas, he's cashed the over. You see on March 1st, he only had 11 points and 2 rebounds, but on their first matchup on January 22nd of this year, he had 17 points and 7 rebounds. The rebound numbers have been pretty good. He's averaging 19.6 points plus rebounds per game versus the Mavericks over the last 5 games. Looking at the 2023 data here, you see a 60% hit rate, 50 out of 84 games this year, including playoffs. He's cashed that over. His last 5 games, 100% hit rate. Each of the last 5 games, he's cashed this over, averaging 24.6 points plus rebounds per game. And if we go ahead and look at the last 10, the data looks good across the board. 8 of his last 10 games, averaging 21.4 points plus rebounds per game. If we go ahead and look at the head-to-head data here versus these are the last 5 meetings versus the Dallas Mavericks. The rebound chances are pretty good. He's averaging 10.2 rebound chances per game. He had 14 rebound chances in game 1, so pretty good. A lot of opportunities for rebounds. Obviously, we know the minutes played are going to be high. 34.9 minutes. That's because it was a blowout. He probably would have played more had it been a little bit of a closer game. I'm sure Holiday would have played closer to 40 minutes there. But we know the shots are. He takes a good amount of shots. And if we go ahead and put the last 10 games here for reference. We look down below. He's averaging 10.6 shots per game. He's averaging 10.6 rebound chances per game, averaging about 6 rebounds per game overall. So across the board, pretty solid data. We know the Dallas Mavericks overall this year, bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 5 in rebounds allowed. And although versus point guards, I know the data is pretty decent. I don't think Kyrie Irving defensively, although he's been playing very well defensively, I don't think Kyrie is going to be able to keep Holiday at bay. Again, he did cash this in game 1 with 12 points and 8 rebounds in just 35 minutes. So really solid spot here for Holiday. All right, guys, just one prop left. We just hit the 7-minute mark, in today's video. So comment 7 down below if you made it this far. As always, we appreciate you guys watching all the way through to the end of the video. The link for the picks will always be down below in the description to go ahead and follow along and tail with today's parlay. I'll show you at the end of the video how simple it is to follow along. Our fourth and final leg of today's parlay, we're going Jason Tatum over 39.5 points plus rebounds plus assists. Again, we're getting it for minus 174. On FanDuel, it is available on DraftKings for minus 165. 3 out of these 4 legs are available on DraftKings. The only one that's not available on DraftKings, the reason why I'm not doing it on DraftKings, is because the Jrue Holiday prop is not available. Jason Tatum, 6 of his last 10 games, he cashed the over, averaging 43.6 PRAs per game. He did miss the mark in game 1. He had 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists in game 1. However, the head-to-head data is pretty good. 4 of the last 5 times he's faced off with Dallas, he has cashed the over. He actually had cashed it in 4 straight heading into game 1, and then, of course, game 1, he had a little bit of a down day. But he's averaging 47.6 PRAs per game versus the Dallas Mavericks overall. Again, you see those last couple matchups. I mean, he really cashed the over pretty high. And it makes sense. Dallas overall, good versus small forwards. They are bottom half of the league in all the categories. Even versus power forwards, bottom half in all those categories. So Dallas, and overall, they are bottom 10 in all categories. Points, rebounds, and assists allowed on the season. So it's a pretty solid matchup. This is where Tatum, it's frustrating to be a Tatum fan because you have games like game 1, although he does a lot of stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, the way he can pull the defense off of other guys to get people open, his playmaking. Tatum, there's a lot that Tatum does that is the reason why he's such a great player that's not shown on the stat sheet. But this is kind of what Tatum does. He has kind of a bad night. The media kind of talks shit on him. Of course, Jason Kidd came out with the Jaylen Brown comments about how Jaylen Brown's the best player on the team, and Jrue Holiday agrees, and blah, 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 and all these headlines that are being taken away and basically used and weaponized to hurt Tatum, to make Tatum feel like he's not a superstar. This is kind of where Jason Tatum is his bread and butter. He likes to answer the call, if you will. This is like his bat signal. Like when Stephen A. Smith and all these guys kind of talk about Tatum, and all these media members talk about how Tatum's not a star and all this stuff, it's like a bat signal flies in the sky. And he answers the call, and I think this is a game where Tatum will bounce back. I think he's due to have a really big game here versus Dallas. Again, there's a lot of hate coming on him for his game 1 performance, although I don't think he was really even that terrible. Yeah, he didn't score a ton. He didn't have a great shooting night, but he did have a decent game overall across a couple of other metrics. But I do think Tatum is going to be due to have a really big game here. He's had statistically, again, you look at that data of late versus Dallas, some pretty big games versus them. I think that continues here. I think he's going to come strong here in game 2, coming off a lot of criticism for game 1. So I like this spot a lot. I was thinking of taking it straight up at 41.5. I'm going to shave a couple off just to give us a better chance of hitting here. And there you have it, guys. That is our 4-leg parlay for today's slate. You see down below, Drew Holiday over 16.5 points plus rebounds. Jason Tatum over 39.5 points, rebounds plus assists. Daniel Gafford over 6.5 points. And Luka Doncic over 8.5 rebounds. You parlay all 4 of those together, you get a parlay of plus 592 odds. Not too shabby. Again, you can bet 3 out of 4 on DraftKings. The only one not available on DraftKings is that Drew Holiday prop. So if you don't use FanDuel, you're still looking to bet this parlay, just remove the Drew Holiday pick, and you still get a decent little 3-leg parlay. And obviously the odds slightly better on DraftKings for a couple of, right here, minus 165 versus minus 180. So still probably decent odds there on that 3-leg parlay if you decide not to take the 4-leg on FanDuel. Again, you click that link down below for the picks. It'll take you to this page here. You click add to bet slip. It's as easy as that. It takes you right to the FanDuel page, and you just go ahead and put how much you'd like to bet on the parlay. So, guys, that is it for me today. Again, thank you very much, as always, for watching. Apologies. I know my energy is probably not the same as usual. I know I was kind of flying through it here. But, again, I'm pretty sick. Go figure. I have the worst immune system, I think, of all time. I get sick every 2 months. But do the best that I can for you guys to still put videos out even though I am sick. So, guys, until Wednesday when we're back with another NBA player prop video for Game 3, I hope you guys enjoy the game tonight. I know I will. As a Celtics fan, I love Game 1. I'm hoping to keep the energy up for Game 2. Still think Celtics in 6 despite Game 1's result. I do think Dallas will take a couple off the Celtics somewhere here in this series. But, guys, until next time, I hope we're all winners. Have a good day. Enjoy your weekend.